Alright, today I'm going to present my AI system called a boxing injury risk predictor. This system is designed to help fighters avoid injuries by predicting when they are at risk based on their training and recovery data. So basically I chose this topic because I personally train and understand how common injuries are in boxing, especially when we're training for recovery and also weight cutting. I've witnessed it firsthand. It's not easy, so I want to really dive in and understand a little bit more of this. Now, the problem I'm solving is that boxers get injured frequently due to overtraining and poor recovery. So right now, most coaches rely on experience over guessing to decide when a fighter should rest or push harder. There is no system that uses actual data to predict injuries before they happen, which can lead to unnecessary damage and lost progress. It's something I've also witnessed. A lot of times the coaches want to keep pushing without actually seeing how much it actually could hurt the training. So yeah, I wanted to really dive into this specifically. So why it matters? This matters because injuries can seriously affect a fighter's career. They can delay training, reduce performance, and in some cases even end like careers early. So a lot of these injuries are actually preventable if we had better data and smarter systems to monitor training and recovery. As you can see in here, I said injuries delay progress, which is true because an injury can hold you back a week or two from training. And if you were just to go, a little bit lighter and you didn't get injured, you're back on track. So what hurts more is taking time off instead of doing little by little and staying consistent. And it can end careers. And also the money for recovery. In boxing already, you don't have much health care if you went into it professionally. That's pretty much out of pocket most times. So it's just overall better to prevent everything. Now, data strategy. My system will use several types of data. This includes training hours, the number of sparring rounds, sleep hours, soreness level, previous injuries, and how much weight the fighter has to cutting. Cutting weight is very crucial. A big thing is very draining and easy to actually get injured after because you're low on water. Now, this data can come from wearable devices, apps, or manual input from the athlete or coach. And before using the data, it would be cleaned and organized so the model can understand it properly. So I said some sources are like wearables, user input, and train logs. This is just help monitor and keep everything intact. Now, the system works in a simple pipeline. First, the boxer inputs their data. Then the system cleans and prepares the data. After that, the AI model processes it and predicts the injury risk level. Now the output is a clear result. You either have low, medium, or high risk. This is something simple that I thought about. Nothing too heavy specifically, but just something like this can help monitor and keep things intact. So now here we go, the diagram. I actually put everything in ChatGPT to make the diagram because I was having a lot of issues on PowerPoint to create it. So basically, you see in the first one, input data. Boxers provide training and recovery data. So you have training hours, sleeping rounds, sleeping hours, soreness level, past injuries, weight cut amount, right? Second one is pre-processing. This is where you clean and prepare the data. So you handle missing values, normalize data, and code categories, remove outlet liners, and feature engineering, right? So then it goes to the third one, the model, the random forest model. Train on historical data, finds patterns and relationships, predicts injury risk level. Then it goes on to the fourth, which is prediction. The model analyzes input data, calculates risk score, evaluates patterns, and determines risk category. The output, injury risk level. So you have low, medium, high. Now, the low one, safe continuing training as planned. The medium risk monitors closely and adjusts training loud. A high chance of injury reduces load and prioritizes recovery. So basically, yeah, this is just a little chart just so you can see like the full input of what the low, medium, and the high risk will be. Now when it goes into the algorithm, I want to do the random forest as my machine learning algorithm. This is because it works well with mixed types of data like numbers and categories, which fits my data set. It also has strong accuracy and reduces overfitting by combining multiple decision trees. This makes it reliable for real-world predictions like injury risk. Now, when it comes to the model will be trained using an 80-20 split, where 80% of the data is used for training and 20% for testing. I would evaluate the model using accuracy, precision, and recall. Recall is specifically important because we want to catch many injury risks possible, and at the same time want to avoid too many false positives that could unnecessarily stop training. Now, when it comes to ethics and bias, there's also many ethical concerns. The data could be biased depending on the athlete used in training. There are also privacy concerns since it involves health data, which is number one crucial. The system makes incorrect predictions. It could affect training decisions. To reduce these risks, I would use diverse data, secure all information, and ensure that coaches make final decisions, not the AI. So from a security perspective, protecting the data is critical. All data would be encrypted both in storage and during transfer. Access would be restricted to unauthorized users only. The system would also evaluate inputs to prevent fake malicious data. And finally, basically just monitoring and logging would help detect misuse or system issues from a cybersecurity aspect of it. Now, the impact of the system is significant. It helps prevent injuries, improve performance, and allows athletes to train smarter instead of harder. So basically, the future would be like smartwatch integration, real-time tracking, really just anything that could help benefit. Because impact, like I said earlier, a small injury can have a long lasting, and careers stop training, but fights are postponed. Just an injury in general is not something that many fighters want, and most of the time when they actually step in the ring, there was actually a study done where it's a high amount percent of the athletes that step in the ring are already injured. Most problems are like shoulder problems, maybe they run too much, ankle, knee. Even most of them even have broken ribs from sparring. So it's just something that when they step in the ring, a lot of fighters already have pre-injury, and small things that could help win a fight is beneficial at the end of the day. This could be a little bit extra to do, low, medium, high. But at the end of the day, anything that give you a little edge on your opponent, because it is just 1v1, is the best thing many fighters want to take. Now, personal connection. So basically, I grew up boxing. Train boxing pretty much every summer when I come home from college. It's just something I do. I've always enjoyed it, but I've also had a lot of personal experiences with, some of my friends that, um, didn't have the best ability, um, and push yourself too much past the limit. Um, and I just see how common injuries are. I want to create something that could help fighters stay healthy and perform better using technology. This project really showed me how AI can be applied to real world problems in sports. I remember it was like a couple months ago. One of my friends actually from the boxing gym actually passed away in the ring at a boxing event. I was told he was getting hit in the head a couple times in the back of the head. He had sleep apnea, didn't really tell anybody, and I guess he had an ongoing brain injury, supposedly, and he passed away in the ring at an amateur bout at the gym I train in. But it just goes to show how important it is to really focus on the health aspect of it and not just about winning all the time. So, in conclusion, this system uses AI to improve decision making in boxing training. It does not replace coaches, but supports them with better data. Overall, it helps prevent injuries and makes training more efficient and safer. If I were to add some more things on, I think I would try to focus on sleeping too and recovering the muscles. If I didn't do fully boxing, I would focus on recovery, like how much sleep you need, how much water you need, the food intake for protein, because you gotta have fiber for your brain to keep training. I would have focused on the small if I had more time, the smaller things um, have a bigger impact actually, because sleep good for the brain, good for recovery. Then water intake's also massive for dehydration. But yeah, it's just some of the things that I would have done, and I appreciate for listening. Thank you.